Hello, this is Steve Sanangelo once again from the SRS Rock Report, and I wanted to do a quick update. And I'm glad you're joining me, and it is on Sunday. I wanted to do this update on the silver market before the market opens up tomorrow, because from what I've seen taking place in the SLV ETF as well as the silver price chart, it seems to me that there's indicators are setting up for a big move in silver. Now, before I get going on that, I wanted to show you the Deutsche Bank chart because we're hearing a lot about Deutsche Bank. They're laying off people. It's just a mess. And there's been several analysts that said that if Deutsche Bank stock gets below $6, then it's in big trouble. And one of these analysts is Charles Nenner. He's been on USA Watchdog with Greg Hunter. And he said that if Deutsche Bank got below $6, it was in real trouble. Now, I don't know what technical analysis that Charles Nenner uses, but this is my chart showing Deutsche Bank over the past 20 plus years. And there's two key levels. One we see in this dashed line is this major support line, this lower trend line that continues to go down. And then there's this $20 key level here, where we could see that Deutsche Bank shot up to $120, and then during the market crash went all the way down to 20 before correcting and moving back up to the 60-65 level. Now, it's interesting, as it continued to sell off, once it fell below this key $20 level, it fell rapidly, and it ended at about 10. Now, I've seen this happen a lot with stocks. When it falls to a certain level, there's usually a correction. It goes back up. And here we could see that what used to be support has now become resistance. And Deutsche Bank tried twice to go above that $20 level, but didn't. And it did it right in 2018. Now, over the past year and a half, it continues to sell off. And I believe the $6 figure or level is important because that's right where this lower 20-year trend line is. So if Deutsche Bank falls below that $6 level, it's going to fall very rapidly to $5 to $4, and soon it could head to penny stock heaven. And you see, that's bad news for Deutsche Bank as well as a lot of other banks, because we could see a cascading reaction in the market. But that could be very good for precious metals. So let me get started. And I'm excited to show you this silver ETF monthly chart. Again, this goes back to 2009. Each candlestick here represents a whole month of trading. Now, I have to tell you that the precious metal prices have been moved by the paper buyers. We haven't seen much retail buying of gold and silver, and it's been like that for many years. So what's been pushing the gold price and silver price are paper buyers. So we have to look at what they're looking at, the professional traders, the institutions, the hedge funds. And this level here, which this blue line is the 50-month moving average. When the SLV as well as the silver price fell below it in 2013, it's been below it ever since. It came down to this one support level, went back up to the 50-month moving average, and there's no coincidence that it continued to bounce up, but it wouldn't go above it. Now, I think we're in a different market now because of a lot of the fundamentals in the market, the negative interest rates, the economy is rolling over. We're seeing a lot of volatility in the currency markets. So there's fear. We're seeing more people move into gold and silver. Now, what's interesting, the SLV volume is the highest since 2012. The current August volume is 306 million shares, and July was 400 million shares traded in SLV, and you've got to go all the way back to 2012 and even to get higher in 2011. Now, this next chart breaks it down, and I wanted to show you this next chart because we did see the silver price as well as the SLV move up significantly in 2016. I think the silver price went from 14 to 21 in just about 6 months. Now, these big moves we see in April, the SLV went up $3. And the shares traded that month were 237 million. And we can see it right here. And then it sold off in May. And in June, we had another increase. It went up $2.50. Well, that month, 238 million shares were traded on the SLV. And in the last peak month was in July. It went up about $1 plus. there was almost 300 million shares traded in the SLV. But now, look what's happening now. Again, in July, the SLV traded 400 million shares and the price only went up $1.50. And now we're in August, and we have to remember, even though there's 306 million shares traded at only $1.20 plus right here, there's still 2 weeks left in the month. So we could see 500 million shares or more. Now, I think the reason why there's so much interest, we finally broke through this 50-month moving average in a big way. Now, a lot of precious metal investors have been concerned about the gold and silver with the COT report, because in the past, for many years, as the gold and silver price has increased, the commercial net short positions have also increased. And we could see that here in these red bars. So as the silver price increased, so did the commercial net short position. When it peaked and we start to see a smaller net short position, then the price of silver falls. Now, in this last 2 months, 2.5 months, as the silver price has been increasing, the commercials have been adding more short positions. But something very interesting happened. Over the last 2 weeks, we've seen a liquidation of 18,700 net short positions since July 30th. And this next chart will kind of give you an idea what's happening. Now, the COT reporting time ends on Tuesday. So it fell on July 30th, August 6th, and August 13th. Now, since July 30th, we could see an actual net increase of 42 cents. But we've seen the commercial net short positions decline 18,700 over that 2-week period. Now, if we just look in this last week, the silver price shot up. It did go up higher on the last day of the reporting cycle. It came all the way down, but it didn't go down below it. The net result was an increase of 53 cents, 3% higher for the week. And the commercials liquidated 10,000 short contracts. You see, I think this is very positive. I've mentioned this before in my videos. As the fundamentals improve for the silver price, I do believe there's going to be a consolidation. As the silver price goes higher, I don't think we're going to see higher and higher commercial net short positions. There's going to be a consolidation. So over the next several months or longer, we could see the commercial net short positions actually declining, consolidating less as the price goes higher. Now, what's interesting, on the other hand, the gold commercial net short position is still at a high, even though in this last week, the commercials liquidated 600 net short positions. It fell a little bit. And now that's kind of interesting because, like silver, there was a big up and down that day. And the gold price, the net increase has gone from $1,483 to $1,514. It's increased 2% in that cycle, that COT cycle, but there was 600 net short positions reduced. But again, there was a 3% increase in the silver price, and there was 10,000 net short positions liquidated. So we're seeing a little different. Silver is setting up a little bit better than gold right now. Now, I wanted to show you what's happening on the daily chart because traders are looking at this. A lot of big traders are looking at these charts. And what we're seeing, I didn't notice this until yesterday. Silver is setting up on another ascending triangle. It did that in gold. And when it's not a long ascending triangle, it's only been a couple of weeks, but we could see it's this top formation here, or the resistance line is the 1725, 1730 level. And as the silver price moves up, it continues to get higher and higher. This is a very bullish sign. If it breaks above it, silver could go up $1 very quickly. Now, again, technical analysis, traders look at these three different triangles, formations. So silver is acting in this ascending triangle. If it breaks out, it's very bullish. It can move up very quickly. And as I mentioned in my last video, that's exactly what happened with gold. This is gold on the daily chart. When gold broke above that 1360 level, it went up to 1440 rather quickly. And then it consolidated all in July. And then it was moving up this ascending triangle. When it broke above it, it went from 1440 to 1520 very quickly. So it's not a guarantee that this is going to happen. But when traders look at it, if silver does break above that level, let me go back and show you. Well, actually, I've got it on the next chart. This is a little bit longer daily chart. This is 6 months, so it's a little bit more extreme. But we can clearly see that silver is moving up tighter this ascending triangle, and that's a very bullish formation. If it breaks above it, we could see silver move up $1 or so very quickly. Now, it doesn't mean that silver can't come down. But when you look at these charts that traders are looking at, if silver does start moving above it and breaks out, it could be very bullish for silver. So where would silver go? Well, as I mentioned, we have a lot more volume in the silver ETF, and we're seeing a lot more volume in the silver trading on the COMEX as well. Again, silver broke above the 50-month moving average, which is right here. Just like the SLV, it's been 6 long years. It broke above it, and now it's trying to break above the 200-month moving average. This next, if silver does break above that ascending triangle, which I showed you in the prior chart, it could go up to 1850 rather quickly, which is the next level we see here. This is the next resistance level. So I do believe if we don't see silver break out this week or maybe next week, still the fundamentals in the long monthly chart, and I'm going to show you the long chart for the SLV, this volume increasing means there's a lot more interest. And I did an interview this weekend with Lewis at Small Gold, and we spoke about some of this, but I wanted to explain more in my video, but I'm going to link his video in my article that he breaks down some of the silver flowing into the silver ETF. There's a lot more silver. There's a record amount of silver metal, tons of silver moving in the SL ETF. So these signs are very bullish for silver. And in conclusion, if we look at this ascending triangles, if they get a breakout, are very bullish for the silver price. It happened with gold. What we're seeing in the markets now with negative interest rates, with volatility in the currency markets, the stock market is very volatile. One day it goes up, one day it goes down. With all these things that are happening in the markets, I believe traders, investors in the market are starting to get fearful. And that's why we're seeing so much interest now in the precious metals by the paper buyers. So if we don't get a breakout this week with silver or even next week, I do believe the fundamentals for it over the longer period of time, over the next year or two, we're going to see much higher silver and gold prices. Well, thank you very much. And if you haven't yet subscribed to the SRS Rocker Report YouTube channel, please consider doing so. And also check out my articles. I bring out articles, about 2 or 3 articles at the srsrockerreport.com website. And if you would consider supporting the SRS Rocker Report, I have Patreon and PayPal memberships. And I thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing what happens in the markets this week. Thank you.